Chat, come on. All right, let's see MDT call me out. Wrong link. I am.
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and I am jet lagged.
Yeah, like why would he? What do I have to do with this at all? Yu-Gi-Oh's money, unless. Let me not speculate.
Oh, I am barely conscious. At least if this one comes out rambly, I have an excuse this time. So today we're going to be talking about the economics of Yu-Gi-Oh! So in case you haven't heard, Yu-Gi-Oh's dying. It's always dying. And while the recent proclamation by community figureheads has all the same trappings as every other time we say that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying, the format sucks, the content creators are too woke now. It also has a new angle that I thought it would be at least a little bit...
That's not. That's a new thing, bro. That's a new thing. That's a new thing. Yeah. First off, that's a new thing. That's not something that there was no such thing as a woke Yu-Gi tuber 10 years ago. Like that's new.
Bit interesting to explore, and that is an economic one. A lot of the problems in Yu-Gi-Oh! Currently have to do with the economic side of the game, be it purchasing cards, having the ability to resell cards that you already own, or, unfortunately, collecting money through prizing. Against the late Kazuki Takahashi's wishes, the monetary side of things has kind of come to the forefront. And as now Yu-Gi-Oh! Finds itself in a really precarious position relative to a bunch of new card games like Lorcana, I feel like it's something that's worth talking about. Now, if you all know anything about me, it's that 1, I love capitalism, and 2, that I am qualified to talk about the state of the economy. I thumbed through Capital. That's something, right? So without further ado, let's talk about the topic of this video, why Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes no financial sense and its ramifications. So one of the reasons why I really appreciate Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to the big 3 of card games, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon, is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has by far the most aggressive reprint policy of any reasonable TCG I've ever played. Cards that are super powerful and expensive are routinely reprinted at the earliest possible convenience, which is really, really good for getting access to cards if you're looking to play the game. But it's really, really bad if you're a vendor or a financial speculator. It's important to understand that these individuals are, however unfortunately, a necessary part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Infrastructure. Vendors and high-end collectors need to feel like it's worth it to sink money into the product, open product, and thereby make a significant amount of the commons, uncommons, and rares available to people on sites like TCG Player. In short, for them to stay in business, it has to be worth it to do business. Now, the way that Konami has resolved this problem is actually pretty ingenious. Collectors and vendors can functionally play the market on high-end staples. Things like Starlight Masquerena, old Altis, specific prints of cards like Retro Pack. The scarcity of these cards, and how absolutely cool they are, means that they can go all in on these extremely expensive options and basically be assured that these products are only going to increase over time, however slowly. This gives vendors, high-end collectors, and even OTSs that stock singles a reason to invest in the card game. These cards look great as the front page of a binder or behind glass next to dual lands. They're enticing, they're sexy, and I do appreciate that people with a lot of money have the ability to sink said money into what they consider an investment in a game that they love. Now, when we look at Magic, we recognize the disastrous implication of keeping these individuals around. If they decide they no longer want to play in their world of exclusives, they may decide to invest instead in cards that are absolutely critical to play the game at all. This is how you get duels to the price that they are. This is how you get Martin Scully posting on MTG Finance trying to crash the legacy market by buying as many duels as he can before his prison sentence. That's why a bunch of recent Konami decisions are buying as many duels to the price that they are. This is how you get Martin Scully posting.
This is me. This is about me. This can't be the part that's about. What does this have to do about me?
On MTG Finance trying to crash the legacy market by buying as many duels as he can before his prison sentence. That's why a bunch of recent Konami decisions are baffling to me. I like the position that Yu-Gi-Oh's in. A reprint policy that's super aggressive allows the common player to always access individual.
Are you guys sure this is about me? The most annoying person, when Joseph talks about the oldest TCG when talking about ways that TCG handled things. This is a shot at me? Are you guys sure?
There's implication of keeping these individuals around.
Dude, why am I getting like the biggest deja vu point? Or why am I getting, what's it called? You always complain when he brings up Magic. That's because this motherfucker always brings up Magic. Who cares? You're right. Chat, press 1 if you're getting like the biggest sense of deja vu. And by that I mean, I feel like I've had this exact same discussion and I'm saying the exact same things that I said before. That's because he always brings up Magic. You're a Yugi tuber, not a Magic tuber. If you want to do Magic, do Magic. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm getting like the biggest sense of like deja. I don't think this is a shot at me at all. I mean, maybe. Remember, I made a joke about it maybe that's why I'm getting the what's it called? Maybe that's why I'm getting the deja vu, right? Because I feel like I'm getting what's it called? Like I don't feel like this is a shot. I thought he was gonna say, "Ha, that dumb cap G guy." Like I thought it was gonna be very, very direct. Okay.
If they decide they no longer want to play in their world of exclusives, they may decide to invest instead in cards that are absolutely critical to play the game at all. This is how you get duels to the price that they are. This is how you get Martin Scully posting on MTG Finance trying to crash the legacy market by buying as many duels as he can before his prison sentence. That's why a bunch of recent Konami decisions are baffling to me. I like the position that Yu-Gi-Oh's in. A reprint policy that's super aggressive allows the common player to always access individual cards for their deck, but never goes so far as to devalue the binders of individuals who are looking to invest in any sense of the word. Except that Konami has decided to do a bunch of stuff that does devalue those collections. Recently, they've announced they're reprinting Light of Destruction. Why? Light of Destruction's a weird set to select for a reprint. There's not too much in there that people actually want. Oh god, the Arcana Forces. I guess like Substitute's in it, but it's also in the Battles of Legend set, so who cares? High-end collectors are mostly just scrambling for first ed editions of these individual cards, but printing any number of secret rares like Charge of the Light Brigade is going to make them sweat a little bit. This goes double for sets that aren't differentiated between a reprint set and the original by a first ed stamp like Retro Pack, which Konami is reprinting for some reason. A bunch of people have talked about this already, but it makes no sense that this set that is only really well known because of its scarcity is getting a reprint at a time when every single card in it is...
Can I ask a question, chat? Why are they reprinting these like super obscure packs? Like why? Like it doesn't... I just want to know like who the market is for this. Like who's the target audience? Like even me, chat. Like I lived through the days of Light of Destruction. This is what 2008. I remember Yu-Gi-Oh very vividly in 2008. I remember going to regionals and playing against like that's like dad return format, chat. Like who's the mark? Like someone like me, I'm not like for retro formats. But why can't you? So I kind of get that, BP. You're like, okay, what about people who are getting into, these old, like, why not just reprint those cards in, like, rarity collection and stuff like that? I mean, I guess you could argue you can't get all of them, but you could just reprint them in, like, OTS and shit. Like, because I wouldn't want them in the same rarity. Like, I would want, like, rarity bumps and stuff. To me, it's just weird. Like, it's because LOB Reboxes sold really well. I get that. I get that, Fox. But LOB is so unique, chat, in the sense that it is Yu-Gi-Oh's, the TCG sides. It is the first core set. Like, you only get one first. Like, what are we doing with, like, Light of Destruction? Or if they're like, hey, we're going to reprint the Lost Millennium. It's like, why? Like, what? That's not really like, how Yu-Gi-Oh works.
Is widely available at like a dozen rarities to everyone. I imagine if you're a high-end collector, this is a pretty big turnoff. Like
so that you can get high rarity Ghost and Ultis. Yeah, but see, then I agree with Joseph's point. Like, chat, you guys know I have like 3 pages in my binder of Ghost rares. One of the reasons, chat, I feel, and I collect Ghost rares not for a monetary reason, chat. I'm not collecting them to sell them. I collect Ghost rares just because I want to collect them. I think like Ghost rares have always just been very nice and this kind of mystique rarity or whatever that we don't even do anymore in the TCG. But yeah, it would kind of suck if Konami was like, oh yeah, we're just reprinting all, like if they made a reprint set, chat, with all the Ghost rares, I'm not gonna lie, chat, I'd be fucking furious. If Konami was like, yeah, we're reprinting I have a Black Rose. If they were like, yeah, we're reprinting Black Rose and Stardust Dragon and Red Dragon. There's not Red Dragon Archfiend except in the, what's it called? If Power Tool Dragon and, you know what I mean? Rainbow Neos, I'm pretty sure it's a Ghost Rare. Like, if they were like, we're reprinting all, I'd be fucking furious, chat. Seriously. Because of like how difficult it is to get all these damn Ghost Rares.
At best, Konami is displaying to you the only way you are going to be able to sufficiently invest in this game and sell singles is by orchestrating ridiculous buyouts on cards that people actually need, like SP Little Knight and Diabell Star, and at worst, you're just going to stop investing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. But the economic weirdness doesn't just stop with vendors,
Chaos
it also
Neos.
extends to competitors.
I think it's Rainbow Neos, though.
One of the things I think sets Yu-Gi-Oh! Apart from other card games is the ceiling on its talent. The best Yu-Gi-Oh! Players in the world are so unbelievably good at Yu-Gi-Oh! It is staggering. And yet, in recent months, people have noticed top names kind of falling off the map entirely, not even showing up to tournaments. That's because being good at Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't actually do anything for you. I mean, look at how Magic the Gathering treats its pros. You know intimate details about every person on the Pro Tour.
Look, that is the real wrestling is fake moment, chat. And I hate to bring this up because it's like a little dirty secret. that is like man, it's so ironic, chat. I think Asian Eyes White Dragon was like one of the first people who actually realized that. Press 1, chat, if Asian Eyes was right all along. He was the Thanos that we didn't even know we needed. He was like the first one to realize, like 2006, to realize, like, you know what? Being good at Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't fucking beat anything. It is infinitely better to be good at content creation, to be like, it is much better, chat, to be the top Yu-Gi tuber than it is to be the top Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. It is what it is. It just is what it is. You'll make infinitely more money, chat. If you could be the number one Yu-Gi tuber right now in the TCG chat, you'd make 30 times as much money than if you won every single YCS for an entire year. Like that, and that's just you could win every single YCS this year, chat, and a Yu-Gi tuber would still fucking 10x that shit easily. Like, and that's just what it is. That's with most things. Yeah, but like content creation is still fairly new though. Like content creation has just kind of been this way for like the last 10 years or so. Because the ceiling wasn't nearly this high in the early, like, dude, I started Yu-Gi tubing in 2009, chat. There wasn't no the ceiling of content creation wasn't what it was back then. The biggest Yu-Gi tuber, chat, when I started had 20,000 subs. There was no Sam with Sam has what, 1 million or 900. There was none of that back in the day. You know what I mean? Like it's different. Yeah, unless it's a professional sport, chat, or no, I can't even say that. Hold on. Atenza, that's not even true, right? Because it's just really specific to Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat. If you were the best Lurkana, well, let's use Magic, right? Because Magic is I think more comparable, right? I would say something like Lurkana, but the problem with games like Lurkana and One Piece, chat, they don't have like tubers who have popped off, right? Like the biggest One Piece YouTuber probably has like 10,000 subs or some shit like that, right? The biggest Lurkana YouTuber, chat, is not 100K. They're not 500K. Magic does have those big giants, right? If you could be a pro Magic player, chat, and you could go around and win 3 Grand Prix in a year, you probably make like 40K just from like prize money, chat. And that's a pretty good amount. Like if you won 3 Grand Prix and you top like 2 other ones, like you could basically live just off that. Yu-Gi-Oh! That's not possible, chat. You can't win 3 YCSs, and what the fuck do you get for winning 3 YCSs, chat? Didn't Christian Urano win 2 of them back to back? Like, okay, you probably win $2,000-$3,000 in prizes, like roughly, for winning 2 back-to-back YCSs. Like that's ridiculous. And that's after selling those like all the prizes that you get, because you don't get any money. And most fields, the people who are actually good at their thing are too busy being good at their thing and being compensated for it to also be making content. Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, if you're a super good Magic player, chat, like if you're the 4th best Magic player in the world, like you make enough money just playing Magic and winning prizes. You don't need to like Magic tube. You don't need to make videos. You know what I mean? Because like you're making enough money. We're getting scammed. You can also participate in Magic the Gathering Arena. Magic the Gathering Arena for prizes. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! The best players are forced into other ventures outside of playing the game in order to get by. Yeah, definitely. You know, I don't want to speak for these other people, chat, but like, you know, Joshua Smith, like Joshua probably learned last year, chat. Hey, I make infinitely more money streaming and Yugi tubing than I do when I fucking win a YCS. Which is not to say that he's not going to go to YCSs or that he won't play the game competitively, because he will. But it's just like, yeah, you just make way more money. You know what I mean? Now, I think he probably loves content creation, but I think that Josh, if he could just win tournaments, chat, and make the same amount of money, like, would he still put all the effort into content creation? Maybe not. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Either tubing or coaching or spreadsheets. Europe has they're getting YCSs back now. Europe announced 2 YCSs, chat. One for France and one for Italia. Which let me just ask this, because I've said it in a video that I haven't put out yet. Is it pretentious? Is it pretentious to call Italy Italia, chat, or can only Italian people do that? I'm being serious. You guys, if it's pretentious, just say, Cap, that's pretentious. Can I call Italy Italia? You know what I mean? Or can only Nesh do that? Can only people who are like actually Italian do that? I don't know. I think it's just kind of cool to call Italy Italia. You know what I mean? Like if you type in the word Italia, you know, Italy comes up. So that's like Italy in Italian, basically.
But in Yu-Gi-Oh, you've got like the casters going, Dinka Bui, isn't he the pearly guy? No, that's Dinka Fam. Ah, well. No care is put into incentivizing individuals to actually top a premier event like a YCS. No care is taken to make mythologies. And importantly, the rewards are just not there. Check out this thread where an individual who's really good at Pokemon revealed that he made $55,000 in prizing over the course of a year. This guy's a...
What? What? What?
Importantly, the rewards are just not there. Check out this thread where an...
Top 8, top 64, top 32, top 30. Oh my god. Bruh. If I was any... I'm sorry, Chad. I have to get on my soapbox now. Hold on. What even is this? 6-3 at Charlotte. Top 250. There's no way this is like a paid out prize. I could fucking go 6-3 at an event, chat. Seriously, I could go 6-3 at a YCS. If this is like you actually are going home with some type of money, that's insane. Like 8-1. Well, see, this third thing is like, are these ties? Because 10-3, like, that's good. 9-4 is like good-ish. You know what I mean? 14-3 is like excellent. Yeah, that's second place. That is 13-1, 14. Those are like excellent for in terms of like Yu-Gi-Oh. But like 6-3, that's like you won't even top a fucking regional doing that in Yu-Gi-Oh, chat. You have to go like 8-1. You know what I mean? Just give me $30. Charlotte small events. I mean, but what is top? That seems like the opposite. It seems like Charlotte would have been a big event then. He's saying he went to an event, didn't get paid, but still made 50. No. I get that. I'm looking at the results, and I'm just looking at like what I'm saying. BP is like, I get that he won and got second, but I'm like some of these aren't that insane. Like a top 64. I'm juxtaposing this to Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And Yu-Gi-Oh, if you make top, let's put this in perspective, chat. Jib can easily make top 6. Jib is making top 32 at like every YCS he enters. This is like a Jib type player, not like a Christian Urena player who's like win. That's all I'm saying. Mickey Mouse ring, it's empty. Time to switch sports. Anyways, before I finish this, if I was a competitive player, chat, for me, it's like too late. I am damn near 40. I have played Yu-Gi-Oh for half my life, chat. It doesn't even make sense for me to switch to a different card game and try to get like all competitive. But I'm not gonna lie. If I was any of you guys, chat, and any of you guys are like, yo, I just started playing Yu-Gi-Oh a year ago, like, you guys are young. If I'm like in the chat and I'm like 21, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, maybe One Piece is the move. Maybe Lorcana, especially with the games that don't even have like Lorcana and One Piece don't even have these like they don't have established like you where you have to learn all these different fucking mechanics and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you could just get into them easily. Anyways, I've been playing for 10 years. You're still young, cat. No, I just mean in terms of like my investment into Yu-Gi-Oh, it's too deep. Yu-Gi-Oh it's more than just monetarily a monetary investment. Yu-Gi-Oh has so much sentimental value for me, chat. You know what I mean? But like if you're a new player, it's like you don't have the fucking sentimental value. You know? An
individual who's really good at Pokemon revealed that he made $55,000 in prizing over the course of a year. This guy's a massive outlier, of course, but a lot of Magic the Gathering individuals are able to make a bunch of significant tournament results into a career. Some of that is prizing, but the majority is if you are notorious enough within the community, you can leverage that into sponsorships, get a little channel Fireball money. What's the best Yu-Gi-Oh can manage? In terms of prizing, if you win, you're getting what? A Nintendo Switch and a copy of Psycho Battle Royale? Maybe a couple of months later, they're going to mail you a trophy that has a vanilla card nobody wants in it. You compare that to a card game like Lorcana, which is attached to an unsinkable IP in Disney and is giving out thousands of dollars of prizing to even mediocre competitors, and a lot of our top talent starts making a calculation. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the best card game in the world, but if consistently winning events nets you maybe airfare to a tournament, well, you might want to consider a game where you can feed yourself. Okay, we've spent a significant amount of time talking about the economics of the people who already have a lot of money, the people who have a lot of talent.
I didn't think about that, chat, but that also is like a very good point. And that's why I was kind of thinking. I was like, man, Lorcana has the whole nostalgia thing too, chat. Like even someone my age, right? I saw this thing on Reddit where there was a guy who was like, I think in his early 40s, and he took his teenage son to a Lorcana event and they played together. And I'm like, Lorcana it's a Disney game. Like, I can look at things like Aladdin and then, what's another? Like Mulan and Lion King. Like, those are from my childhood. But a Zoomer could look at something like Frozen and, Moana? That's the one with the rock, right? With the Hawaiian girl. Like, they could look at, like, Disney is, it spans such a long time that, like, it actually kind of fights with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or it can compete with Yu-Gi-Oh! With the whole, like, nostalgia aspect. You know? Pokemon, Disney, and even Digimon can bank on some of the nostalgia. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's one of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest selling point is like, yo, we're nostalgia, Cap. We've been here since you were a teenager. You ain't going nowhere. And it's like, these other, like, maybe One Piece not as much, chat, but like Lorcana for sure. You know what I mean? Like, Lorcana for sure can basically pull at your heartstrings of like, you know these freaking characters because you have watched them since you were 3 years old. That's the point that I'm making. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about the rest of them. The lifeblood of Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't the misprint princes of the world. It isn't the Christian Uranus of the world. It's the individuals playing the worst Blue Eyes White Dragon profile you've ever seen, copied card for card from a 2018 Teen Samurai X1 video at Locals. You know, the common clay.
You know. Morons.
Even if the individuals responsible for Yu-Gi-Oh's secondary market or the individuals at the top of the Yu-Gi-Oh ladder aren't able to make a pretty penny, at least players can enjoy playing the card game, right? Well, have you seen the prices for cards lately? During COVID, something broke. I mean, mostly people's brains, but also prices on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The COVID format was one of the most expensive in modern memory, and basically it hasn't gone down since. Decks right now cost like $700 or $800 if you want to be consistently competitive. There are some exceptions, of course, but by and large, that's like the going rate. That prices a lot of people out. One of the major selling points of the game, the fact that the aggressive reprint policy meant that you were usually...
He is right, by the way, chat. Even if you look at like info format, like let's take now as like a new starting point, right? Like Infinite Forbidden just came out. It officially launches next week. If you want to keep up with the Joneses, chat, you want to play U-Bell, you want to play Snake Eye. I mean, even sells it. Like, you want to play Memento? Like, cool. Have fun spending $500 on 3 copies of this fucker, of Dante. You know what I mean? Like, let's say this card is just $100, chat. Which, okay, it goes down $30. All right, cool. You need 3 of this, and I don't even know the price of like Requiem or Track This, which is now tracking it. But I'm gonna assume the whole package is like $500. And that's not the whole deck, chat. That's not the whole deck. That's just 4 Fiendsmith cards. That's just for Fiendsmith cards. That's not the entire deck. You still need the other cards for whatever deck you're playing. So, like, yeah, you know, it's like a little bit of a problem with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Able to afford cards isn't a reality anymore. So what's
Play
the common
Tempeh.
thread that connects all of
Just
these
say
problems
Tempeh.
together? Well, it's decisions being made on the part of Konami. Konami made the decision to reprint a bunch of sets that devalue the binders of the individuals responsible for putting a secondary market together. Konami made the decision to reward competitors of the most prestigious Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments on the planet with rubber mats. And Konami is making the decision to expand reprint sets dramatically to the point where there's no guarantee that any individual reprint set is going to actually include all the cards that you want. I mean, look at how it...
I'm just going to say this, and then I won't pause anymore. I love this chat. Whenever you get comments in the comment section saying, you were doom posting, which, by the way, is like a new term that I hadn't even heard before this year. So I'm just like, what the fuck is doom posting? And then I'm like, oh, I guess it means you're talking negative or whatever. I always say, is Cap G the one who made these decisions? Or is Konami the one who made all these? Like, look at this stuff. Like, did Cap G decide to do all of this shit, or did Konami decide to do all this shit? All I'm doing is talking about it and giving my objective opinion on it. It's not because I hate Konami as a company. It's not because I just want negative. It's like, bro, all I can do is talk about the things that are affecting us in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. If they do better, then I'll talk better. I'll be more positive. But, like, don't be like, Cap, how can you blink? Like, because they fucking did it. It's like a but you guys know Konami's almost worth $10 billion now. I actually looked it up the other day. Like, it's wild. I used to always say in my video, oh my God, it's actually just gone up. I used to say in my videos, chat, Konami's an $8 billion, no, they're almost an $11 billion company. I used to say $8 billion company. An $11 billion company that really just owns one valuable property. People like to say, what about Pachinko? Bruh, stop. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pays all the bills, chat. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pays all I just told you guys that, like, Master Duel was like the #1 grossing game or the most profitable game like last month. And Duel Links was in the top. It was a bunch of those other games, chat, like Candy Crush and shit like that. But the #1 game was Master Duel. Like, nah, there's nothing small or indie about this company. That is insane. Look at this, chat. Stock up 42% this year. Konami stock is up 42% this year. Like, bro, no one should ever feel bad about this company. Like, don't go to bat defending a company that's worth $11 billion.
Of sets that devalue the binders
here's
of the
your rubber
individuals
mat.
responsible for putting a secondary...
A rubber mat, chat, that probably cost... How much do you guys think it cost Konami to make one of those rubber mats? Like $1? I mean, you beat out 10... You beat out 2,000 people, chat. Can you imagine being like a competitive player, putting all this effort into like topping a YCS or whatever, and you get a fucking rubber mat? Like, it's one thing if you're like Fox, chat, and Fox was at YCS Raleigh and really just didn't give a fuck at all. He was just going to like have fun. It was really just like memeing for him. It's one thing if you're like that, where he's playing his pet deck that he plays at like every event, doesn't really care at all, didn't even really want to go to day 2, but just decided I'll fucking go for memes. And then, oh wait, what? I got 32nd? Oh wait, I'm playing against the undefeated guy and I 2-0 him? Okay, guess I'll just keep playing. Like, it's one thing if you're like that and it's just like, I'm just going along for the ride. But it's another thing if you're that player who's like, you're spending all your fucking time and energy and stuff, and you got a $1 rubber mat. Cool. Like, bruh, stop. I lose my fucking mind, chat. I lose my fucking mind playing this fucking game. For real. You can get custom mats made on Amazon for $20. It's honestly respectable that they held to Takahashi's wishes so long. You would have cashed in immediately. So my thing, but here's the thing, BP. My thing has always been, right, I can understand if they really want to die on that heel, chat, and they truly believe like it's not just a cost-cutting measure, but we really want to, hold Takahashi's ideologies true, right? Because if you really watch the anime chat, Taka, I think Bandit Keith is supposed to be kind of like a character that represents the pitfalls of like gambling and introducing money into Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. Where if you guys watch the duel between him and Joey, Bandit Keith is like drinking, and it's kind of hinted at that Bandit Keith was into like prostitutes and stuff, chat. But like into drugs and prostitutes. But Pegasus even says drugs. So like if you watch the sub version, it's like kind of hinted at that Bandit Keith is just a debaucherous, like he's into drugs, liquor, hookers, all that stuff. And maybe Takahashi's like, look, I don't want my players going down this dark path. Whatever. But my thing is, why not just give out like travel stipends? Why not work with companies like Airbnb? Like, all right, cool. Instead, we're not giving you guys cash. Because Pokemon does this, by the way. Pokemon used to give out, or I think they still do. They would give out for the junior division. They would give out scholarships. Like, do that. I mean, Cap G, like, I can't use a scholarship because I'm not in school, but I could use a $150, Delta Airlines card or Airbnb card or Uber card. He fell so low because Pegasus embarrassed him so badly. VIP is basically that. Yeah, which like 2 people at every YCS get. Like, bro, how about for people who make like top 8? You know what I mean? Like top 8's pretty hard. At a 2,000
together,
person
Konami
event.
made the decision to reward competitors of the most prestigious Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments on the planet with rubber mats, and Konami is making the decision to expand reprint sets dramatically to the point where there's no guarantee that any individual reprint set is going to actually include all the cards that you want. I mean, look at how a set like Rarity Collection 2 was pieced into functionally 3 different sets. Itself, the Legends set, and the Tins way down the line, which will have cards like Trident Dragion we all sort of expected would be found in the same place as the other things we needed. Now, like the Twitter threads are saying, do I think these changes are going to kill Yu-Gi-Oh? No, but I don't think it means things are getting better. As vendors, high-end collectors, and OTSs decide it's time to start piecing out of Yu-Gi-Oh entirely, as our top talent leaves in exodus for Lorcana, and as eager players who want to try playing the greatest game on the planet find themselves priced out of anything other than a...
This is the point, chat. This is the point. Like, I don't think anyone's saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. Like, all the Doom posting, right? I don't think that it's to say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. The thing is, it's like, things aren't getting better. It's like, things are just getting worse. And we're at a, like, crossroads moment where we actually have, like, chat, I mean, just put it like this. And let's go back, chat, to, like, 2008, right? Since they're reprinting Light of Destruction, right? Let's go back to 2008. What was Yu-Gi-Oh's actual competition, chat? I mean, some of you guys didn't play back then. That's fine. Just guess. What was Yu-Gi-Oh's actual competition in 2008, chat? At that point, Yu-Gi-Oh had already been, like, this was GX era. We're a phenomenon by now. Or by that point, we're not about to, die or anything like that. That's like One Piece hitting fucking Water 7 or Ernie's Lobby. By that point, One Piece had already taken over. Like, Bakugan? No. I would say that it's Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. At that point, Yu-Gi-Oh, like, even by the second era, chat, Yu-Gi-Oh is so big that our main competition, Magic, Pokemon, that's it. We have no other competitors. All these other games, come, go. Like, that's basically how it's been for, like, the last 25 years. But even in our second era, like, Yu-Gi-Oh was already so... like, it was off to such a success just from DM and the anime and stuff like that. People don't realize, chat, Yu-Gi-Oh! DM is still a top 20 highest selling manga of all time. Like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! DM. That anime has so much brand power, and that manga has so much brand power that it basically set up everything else for Yu-Gi-Oh! To be successful. And I say all that to say, chat, like, it's different now. Like, people can, like, we have these other games that are new. As MBT just said, they're also from gigantic IPs like Disney and One Piece. And people are looking at them and they're like, wow, we actually have not just like Magic or nothing, but we have multiple other games to go to. Because in the past, chat, like, okay, you could go jump the Dragon Ball or fucking Naruto TCG and the game dies in like a year. You know what I mean? But like, and that could happen with One Piece. That could happen with Lorcana, but like, I doubt it, chat. Like, Disney got more money than Konami. Disney has infinitely more money than Konami because I think Disney's market cap is like, I don't know, probably 80 billion or something like that. Like these other card games are not going away. That's my point.
A budget strategy,
The big three is
purchase
still the big
pre-built off
three.
eBay, the community
Versus-
suffers. Are we dying? No. But we're certainly sick. See you next time.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we're not dying, chat. It's just like we're sick. And I'm trying to what's like a sickness, chat, that won't kill you, but will just like fuck you up for years if you don't treat it. I'm trying to think of like, yeah, what's like a sickness you could have? The flu, CT. CTE. What? First off, I mean, that's a dark. I mean, it's probably true, by the way. CTE. Yeah, you can live with CTE, chat, for probably for like a decade. I mean, it's kind of crazy because eventually, like, most people who have CTE like kill themselves, which is very dark. I don't like talking about that, but that's kind of been the trend, right? Like, the only people who have like CTE, chat, or that you hear about are like boxers and NFL players, right? People who have had like, they've been hit in the head a lot, chat. Like, those are the people who have like CTE. But yeah, you can live with CTE, chat, for like, I don't know, probably 6-7 years, but like your quality of life is just gonna slowly go like down and down and down and down. Or maybe like dementia. That'd be like a good one, chat. Like, yeah, you can live with like dementia or Alzheimer's, but your quality of life just goes like down and down and down and down. And that's a good one. COVID's a good one too. You can live with COVID, chat. Like if you got COVID and just never treated it and it was severe, like there's a chance you probably wouldn't die. But then when you can't like breathe the same ever again, you know what I mean? Like you can't ever run a marathon like you used to or something like that. It's like, okay, well your quality of life just fucked. Wait, Disney is how much? I thought Disney was like 80 billion. Oh yeah. I mean, come on, chat. Konami's not fucking with this. The Walt Disney. This is who owns Lorcana, by the way, chat. This is what Lorcana is backed by. Konami was 11 billion. I mean, like they're not fucking with Disney money, chat. They just aren't. You know what I mean? Like all those properties that Disney has, Frozen for the Zoomers, freaking Lion King and Aladdin for the millennials. I mean, I don't know if boomers play card games, but if they do, Cinderella and Dumbo for, you know, the boomers. Jungle Book is probably pretty old. Like they not fucking like if Disney wants Lorcana, chat, to go for the next 20 years and it's not profitable, like they'll just eat it. Like they can do that. You know, like they got the money to do that. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna catch up on the chat for a second. To be fair, Chaotic only left because 4Kids got greedy and tried to take full control of the game from the creator, leading to legal issues. I'm gonna be honest with you, One Piece TCG is so fun. What is it? Level 1, what is One Piece TCG like? Is it because I guess, chat, like because my brain has only just been Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I know so little about other TCGs that I kind of think of them as like there's these like TCGs where you have like a boss monster, because this is like when I did those little promos for Zenenzard, which is or not Zenenzard, freaking what was that? What's the name of that game? Not Bakugan, Card Fight Vanguard. I think Vanguard is like one of those games, chat, where you get like a boss monster and you just equip that one boss monster with like 50 different armors and power-ups and shit. And then when your boss monster dies, you just like lose the game. And it's like I put certain card games into like, oh, it's a boss monster card game. It's like, oh, you summon your boss monster, or this is your deck's like boss card, and you like do everything you can to like keep that motherfucker alive or to win with him. I think Digimon might be like that too, where it's like the whole. I think Digimon might be more like Pokemon though, where like you throw out a little dude, then you evolve it again. You know what I mean? So like my card knowledge or my card game knowledge, chat, is like so limited that I kind of break card games down to like, okay, is this a boss monster card game, or is this like a Pokemon like throw out little dude, evolve little dude into middle dude, evolve middle dude into boss monster. Is it that game? Like that's all. That's how I like classify every TCG chat. It's either like a Pokemon evolution game or it's a boss monster game. Basic. Wait. So then, which one is One Piece though? Is One Piece just like, all right, I throw out Doflamingo and Doflamingo is like my boss? You know what I mean? Or I throw out Zoro and Zoro's my boss? Or is it like I build is it like Yu-Gi-Oh where it's like, well, I have a Doflamingo deck of like, you know, a whole bunch of like Doflamingo monsters or whatever. You know, it's a boss monster. Ah, that sounds kind of cool though, just because it's based on an anime. You know what I mean? So like I'd be able to like recognize all the characters for the most part. The only thing, chat, I know this might seem like the epitome of nitpicking, but do you guys know what kind of irks me about One Piece, the trading card game? And there's no way to like inherently fix this. But if you haven't really seen like the whole anime, the card game has spoilers built into it, chat. Does anyone else find that annoying? I feel like I'm the only one in the world because, and I'm actively watching One Piece. Like I'm in Ernie's lobby, right? Because I restarted watching the show and I'm in Ernie's lobby. But like, if I see characters from arcs that are like way deeper than I am, that's annoying. That's like spoilers. I don't want to know anything about who these characters are if they have not been mentioned. I see this stuff on Twitter all the time, chat, and I like have to scroll. If it's One Piece and it looks even remotely unfamiliar, I immediately skip it. Now, of course, there are certain characters like, God damn it, the horn girl with the giant boobs who's really a boy. What is that dude's name? Whatever that character is, like that's just unavoidable at this point. I know who that character is. I forget. Anime Night just said the character's name from the Wano arc. But like that's just unavoidable. I've seen that character like a billion times. Even like Yamato, Yamato. It's like impossible for me not to know who Yamato is. But other than that, chat, like I don't want to see any other characters in One Piece because it just feels spoilery to me. But like that's just built into the card game. They have to like use the entirety of the anime. One Piece isn't gonna say, you know what, we're gonna start from Romance Dawn and work our way through all the arcs, and then that's just not how you do a card game. As opposed to like it's for real fans. As opposed to Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Could just create archetypes out of thin air. One Piece, I don't think they can do that. Like, can One Piece just say, hey, this is a fake character that we just made up for the card game? It seems like everything in the One Piece card game is derived from the anime or the manga. So anyways, that's just